Hello, this is Shankar Reddy, lecturer in political science from Government Junior College for Girls, Maradpalli, Secunderabad. Today we are going to discuss about President of India. As you know, the President of India is the first citizen of India. As the first citizen of India, he was the symbol of unity and integrity of the nation of India. That's why we have to learn about the President of India as the constitutional head of the India and also the chief of the entire the defense of India. So before going to start the President of India, we have to try to understand the President of India comes under which level. The President of India comes under which branch of the government. Have a look at this. Constitution of India adapted federal system. You know that our Constitution of India adapted federal system. In this federal system, one of the feature is that two governments. One is union government, another one is state government. The government which is in union level, the government which is in union level is called as union government. Union government. The government which is in state level or provincial level is called as state government or provincial government. You know very well. Again, the union government having three branches. One is legislature, executive, judiciary. Legislature, executive, judiciary. The union government having three branches: union legislature, union executive, union judiciary. Here the union legislature is popularly known as Parliament of India. Parliament of India. In this Parliament of India, we adapted bicameral system. That means the Parliament of India contains two houses: upper house, lower house. Upper house, lower house. The upper house of the Parliament of India called as Rajya Sabha. Lower house of the Parliament is called as Lok Sabha. So that is the union government legislative branch. Understood? The legislature, according to the 79 of the article, 79 article, the Parliament of India is equal to President of India, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. That means President included in the legislature as well as executive. Then what is mean by executive here? Who under comes executive? The executive contains President of India, President of India. Understood? Vice President of India, Vice President of India. And below the Vice President, Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister of India. And along with Council of Minister, Council of Ministers. That means Prime Minister and his Council of Minister also included in the executive body. Then Attorney General. Attorney General. Attorney General also included in the executive body. It's about union legislative body. This is about union executive body. Then what about the judiciary? The union judiciary is considered as Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court of India. Understood? So this is about union government. The union government consists union legislature, executive, judiciary. The union legislature considered as Parliament of India contains two houses, upper house, lower house. Union executive contains President of India, Vice President of India, Prime Minister of India, Council of Ministers along with Attorney General. The union judiciary contains Supreme Court of India. Then what about the state government? The state level also there are three organs: state legislature, executive, judiciary. Understood? Here the state legislature again contains unicameralism in some states, bicameralism in some states. If unicameralism existed, only lower houses existed. If the bicameral is existed, upper house also existed, like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. And then union executive contains governor, chief minister, and is council of ministers, and advocate general. So this is about the state executive. Then what about the state judiciary? State judiciary contains high courts. Below the high courts, there are some subordinate courts. This is about the federal system which adapted by the Constitution of India. Okay, that's why for going to start the President of India, we have to try to understand the union government who undercomes executive, legislature, judiciary. Then now we have to try to understand union government. The part 5 of the Indian Constitution. Part 5 of the Indian Constitution from Article 52 to 151 deals union government. In this, union executive is there, union legislature, union judiciary comes under the part 5 of the Indian Constitution. Then in this part 5 from Article 52 to 78 deals union executive. Union executive, that is union president of India and vice president of India, prime minister and his council of ministers, along with attorney general. Here we have to try to understand the president of India under Article 52 to 61. So we have to try to understand, as you know, the president of India is the symbol of unity and integrity of the nation, and he was the first citizen of the country. At the same time, he was the head of the entire executive, that was constitutional head of the India. That's why it is our responsibility to know about the president of India, how the president of India elected, by whom he was elected, what are the qualifications for the president of India, the term of office, and how the president of India removed, and his salary and allowances. We have to try to cover in this class. First, election. According to the Article 54, there was a peculiar election system adopted by the Constitution of India for the President of India election. Understood? That's why here, according to the Constitution of India, the President of India election is indirect election. You know that the President of India is the constitutional head, as nominal executive head, as like as the British king or queen. But we are not adapted the British parliamentary system feature, that was hereditary head of the Britain. We followed the elected head. That's why India is considered as Republic 1. That's why the President of India elected in indirect manner. Then by whom the President of India elected? The President of India elected by electoral college. The President of India elected by electoral college. That means who are the members in electoral college? In the electoral college, the members of the electoral college elected by the people directly. With the members of electoral college, the President of India elected. That's why the election of the President is indirect election. Clear? The electoral college members are elected directly by the people. With the electoral college members, the President of India elected. That's why election of the President is indirect election. It was not directly elected by the people. Understood? That's why who are the members in electoral college? We have to try to understand. In examination point of view, this is very, very essential one. So firstly, all the elected members of Parliament of India. Parliament of India. That means both Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, all the elected members of Parliament of India. The elected members of the Parliament of India included in the electoral college for the election of President of India. Whereas here we have to try to understand, only we mentioned elected members. Here there are some different category members in the Parliament of India. For example, if you take Lok Sabha, two members are two Anglo-Indians nominated by the President of India to the Lok Sabha. According to the Article 131, the President of India nominates two Anglo-Indians to the Lok Sabha. They are not included in the electoral college. That's why we mentioned elected members. At the same time, for the Rajya Sabha, 12 members are nominated by President of India. They also not included the electoral college. According to the Article 80, 12 members nominated to the Rajya Sabha by the President of India, they are not included in the electoral college. Who are included? The elected members of the parliament, both the houses included in the electoral college. Then the second category is that all the elected members of state legislative assemblies, all the elected members of the state legislative assemblies of all the states also included in the electoral college. Here we clearly mention elected members and the state legislative assemblies only. Here nominated members, the governor nominates one Anglo-Indian to the legislative assembly, that is lower house of the state legislature. This Anglo-Indian is not included in the electoral college. Then who included? Only elected members of lower house such as legislative assembly. At the same time, if the two houses are existed in the state, the second house, that was legislative council members, are not included in the electoral college. Finally, who are included? All the elected members of the Parliament of India included in the electoral college, and all the elected members of the state legislative assemblies also included in the parliament in the electoral college. The third category is that all the elected members of legislative assemblies of union territories such as Delhi, Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir. Keep in mind, all the elected members of the legislative assemblies of union territories. In India, there are union territories. 8 union territories at present are there. Out of them, 3 are having legislative assemblies. The 3 also included in the electoral college. All the elected members of the legislative assemblies of union territories such as Delhi, Puducherry, Jammu and Kashmir also included in the electoral college. This is about the composition of electoral college. They only participated in the election of the President of India. Here our constitution prescribed the states also, union territories also involved in the election of the President of India, because the President of India not belong to the central government, is belong to the symbol of enter the union of states, that means enter the nation. That's why states also included the electoral college. Understood? This is about electoral college. The President of India elected by electoral College. After this, we adapted some peculiar election methods, election procedure for the election of the President of India. What is the procedure of the election method of President of India? According to the Article 55, President of India elected with the manner of proportional representation. Proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. By means of single transferable vote. Proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. This is the method adapted for the election of the President of India. Here, proportional representation, the representation which is based on ratio, proportional based. That means the candidates who are involved in the election, the electorates who are involved in the election, they having multi votes, priority based, preferential based, they cast their vote to the candidates who are contesting in the election of the President of India. That is why proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. The word single transferable vote is also included in the procedure. Have a look at this. I'll try to give small example here. For understanding this, it is very essential how the election procedure is going on, how the counting method is going on. We will try to understand one by one. Here, for example, the candidates who are X, Y, Z, they are contesting in the election of the President of India. The members of the electoral college, they cast like A, B, C, D. They are casting their votes. They are giving their priority to the candidates who are contesting in the election. For example, A candidate gave first priority to the X. A candidate gave second priority to the Y, third priority to the Z. Whereas the B candidate gave second priority to the X because he may like to the Y candidate. He gave first priority to the Y and third priority to the Z. The C candidate gave first priority again to the X and third priority to the Y and second priority to the Z. The example only. And D candidate gave first priority to the first candidate X and third priority to the second candidate Y and second priority to the Z category. For example, how we can consider as candidate to be elected as a President of India. How the candidate elected as a President of India. With this, we in the first round of the counting, we calculate first priority votes. We calculate first priority vote. Who crossed quota votes, who secured quota votes, that candidate only declared as President of India. Then what is mean by quota? Quota means polled and valid vote. Valid votes. Polled and valid votes by 2 plus 1. This is the equation of the quota. How they decide quota? Polled, all the votes polled in that valid. That valid votes are considered as valid vote divided by 2 plus 1 is considered as quota. In the first round, if anybody secured quota votes, he is declared as President of India. If no candidate is secured in the first round quota, then they will go to the single vote transferable. Single transferable vote. At the time, they observed if so many are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they are casting their votes, right? If who secured less first priority votes, his second priority votes transferred to the who secured highest first priority votes. Understood? In the second round, who secured less first priority votes, his second priority votes transferred to the who secured highest first priority votes. That in that phase also, if they not secured quota votes, then go with next round. Then go with next round. If at any cost, they must secure the quota votes. Why they introduced quota votes? For securing absolute majority. The President of India representing throughout the country. That means all over the country was the symbol. That means was the symbol of India. That means he secured absolute majority. For that only they introduced quota. Clear? In this quota, for the declaring this quota, all the polled and valid votes, they calculated MLA vote value and MP vote value also. What is the MLA vote value? What is the MP vote value? We have to observe here. MLA vote value. MLA vote value. How the MLA vote value calculated? Total population of the state. Total population of the state divided by total elected members. Total elected members. Members of the state legislative. State legislative consent. Right? State legislative consent into 1 by 1000. 1 by 1000. Understood? The MLA vote value calculated with this method, total population of the state concerned divided by total elected members of the state legislative assembly concerned into 1 by 1000 is called as MLA vote value. What about MP vote value? MP vote value. MP vote value calculated like this. Total value of all the MLAs, total value of the all MLAs votes by total elected members. Total elected members of Parliament of India. Parliament of India. Nothing but MP vote value. You know that for maintaining the equilibrium between the union and state levels, a state government, union government, we adapted this type of values. That means MLA vote value, MP vote value. This is only for maintaining equilibrium between the union government and state government. Then after this, they calculated quota. That means polled and valid votes. All the polled and valid votes by 2 plus 1 is nothing but quota. That means 50%. Who secured quota vote? Then the candidate declared as the President of India. So this is about election procedure of the President of India. For this, who are eligible to contest in the President of India election, we have to try to understand the qualifications of the President of India. The qualifications of the President of India. What are the qualifications are there for the election of the President of India? According to the Article 58, Article 58, the Constitution of India prescribed some of the qualifications for the election of the President of India. What are the qualifications? First, he shall be a citizen of India. Shall be a citizen of India. Citizen of India. That means The candidate who want to contest in the President of India election, he must be president, citizen of India. He is belong to the India. Then the second qualification is that he shall have completed 35 years of age. 35 years of age. The candidate who contests in the President of India election, he shall be completed 35 years of age. Understood? Then third one is that he shall be qualified as member of Lok Sabha, shall be qualified as member of Lok Sabha, shall be qualified as member of Lok Sabha. That means he shall be qualified for the election of the member of Lok Sabha. Shall be qualified for the election of the member of Lok Sabha. Understood? Is it clear? Then the fourth one is that he shall not hold any profitable office. Any profitable office in the union government, state government, and also local government. He shall not hold any profitable office. The union government, state government, local government. These are the qualifications. He shall be a citizen of India, belong to the India, and he shall have completed 35 years of age, and also he shall be qualified for the election of the member of Lok Sabha. At the same time, shall not hold any profitable offices under union government, state government, and local government. These are the qualifications. Besides the qualifications, the candidature of the President of India proposed by 50 members of Electoral College and supported by 50 members of Electoral College as condition. That means the candidate who contests in the President of India election, he also satisfy some of the conditions. What about the conditions of the President of India election? Candidature. The candidature of the President of India election proposed by 50 members of Electoral College. Electoral College. 50 members of Electoral College supported the candidature of the President of India. Again, one more 50 members of the Electoral College supported the candidature of the President of India, supported by 50 members and proposed by one more 50 members of Electoral College. Here the supported means secondaries. Okay. So this is also one condition for the election of the President of India. Apart from that, he must deposit 15,000 caution deposit at the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. The candidate who contests in the President of India election, he deposit 15,000 rupees at RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So these are the conditions for the election of the President of India. If all those conditions are fulfilled, that candidate is eligible to contest in the election of the President of India. Okay. Then after the election of the President of India, the President of India has to take oath from the Chief Justice of India. And here he was continued up to 5 years, that is the term of office. His salary is that 5 lakh rupees per month. At the same time, he provided one special and the peculiar accommodation, that is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. You know very well, the Rashtrapati Bhavan situated at Delhi, and also he has 2 more accommodations in India. One is North India, another one is Southern India. The North India, that was Simla, and the Southern India, that Hyderabad. So these are the accommodations provided to the President of India, apart from the salary and other allowances. Okay. Then how the President of India removed? That means impeachment policy. Impeachment policy. The President of India, according to the Article 61, Article 61, the President of India removed by Parliament of India. You know very well, the President of India elected by Electoral College, which contains parliamentary members, at the same time the state legislative assembly members and the union territories assembly members. Whereas for the removal of the President of India, only the parliament members, including the nominated members, not only elected members, including the nominated members also participated in the election in the removal of the President of India. Here in the removal of the President of India, no state legislature participated, no state legislative members participated. So keep in mind, the removal procedure of the President of India is called as impeachment policy, impeachment procedure. If the President of India violated constitutional provisions, he may removed from the Parliament, removed by the Parliament of India. With this removal procedure, the Parliament of India having two houses, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha upper house, Lok Sabha lower house. In either house of the Parliament of India, it may initiate the impeachment policy, initiate either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha first. For example, in the Rajya Sabha, the impeachment procedure was introduced, bill was introduced. It required 14 days prior notice to the President of India. Required 14 days prior notice to the President of India with 1/4 member's signature. 1/4 member signed. Understood? It required 1/4 member signatures and also 14 days prior notice to the President of India. The first house, this was the function which was done by the first house. After this, the first house conducted discussions on this and also voting on this. If the house passed with 2/3 majority that bill, then it will send to the another house. The first house give the notice with the prior 14 days with 1/4 members signed, and also it conducted voting which was passed by 2/3 majority. For example, it will send to the another house. In that another house, they inquired on that issue. That means they may inquire, they may conduct on the discussions, inquiry, and they may appoint inquiry committee on the issue of the President of India. Then afterward, they concluded and they discussed, they conducted voting also. If they also passed that bill with 2/3 majority, then only the President removed. That means here what you observed, with two houses, 2/3 majority. The Parliament of India separately 2/3 majority. That required 2/3 majority for the removal of the President of India. Each house separately passed the bill with 2/3 majority, absolute majority, special majority. Then only the President of India going to remove. Understood? This is the removal procedure. That means the President of India violate the Constitution. For example, that procedure was established in the Constitution of India under the Article 61 named on impeachment procedure.